everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Chandana Banerjee and I am a writer, artist, micro business coach for military wives and moms and a green wellness coach. I'm also a serial entrepreneur, a military spouse, and a homeschooling mom. And do you know what I love doing best? I love creating and launching these tiny brands that I can work at from home, from remote areas of the country. Now, if you're in the same boat, by that I might mean if you've got small kids at home, or you're homeschooling your kids, or you're a military wife who wants to continue with her career from those remote service stations that you're posted to, then you're at the right place. I'm going to share with you the steps that have worked for me in the last 14 years. And I hope that these steps work for you as well. Now, before I start, let me give you a disclaimer. I am not a business guru. In other words, I do not have an MBA and I do not talk about strategies. I leave the strategies and the business talk and the business jargon to the business gurus. But what I will share with you are things that have worked for me, and these are really simple steps. And you need to just break up the whole process into tiny baby steps and do it while setting short timelines for yourself. Before we begin, I suggest you grab a cup of coffee, a notepad, and a pen. And I'm going to meet you here. Ready? So, the first step that you need to launching or creating a micro business is one, find your purpose and reason. This is a very, very important step. What is it that drives you? What is it that really pushes you to create this micro business? Is it that you want to be financially independent, or is it that you want to earn a certain amount of money and contribute to your holiday fund, or do you just want to create a passion project around your skills and talents? What is it that really lights up the fire in you when it comes to creating a micro business? Everybody's reason is different. For me, it is just that I have a head full of ideas and I need to always be doing something interesting and creative with my time. And I also believe that even if I'm married to a service officer, I also have this need to have my own career while I move with my husband from one base to another. So your reasons can be different, and of course, I enjoy contributing to the family kitty and you know uh, in the holiday fund, as you say. So my reasons for having a micro business used to be very different when before I had my son. Now it is more about being in touch with my subject while I'm homeschooling and raising my son and juggling all the military spouse commitments. When I before I had my son, my reasons were just very different, and I had these targets when it came to this is the amount of money I want to earn, and these are the kind of projects I need to do, and these are my work goals. So at that point, I was a little more structured. I wouldn't say I was extremely structured, but I was a little more structured. And now that I have a small boy at home, whom I'm homeschooling, my priorities and how I look at my micro businesses is much more flexible. And there are also a few of my micro businesses which are actually just passion projects right now. So find out what is your reason. What is it that drives you? What is it that interests you? What is it that lights up the fire in you? And what is it that really makes you smile? And what is it that brings you joy when you think of creating your own micro business? My next tip would be list out all your talents, skills, and qualifications. List them out. Take a piece of paper, write them out. Because for some of us, we might be super focused. We might have this particular skill and this particular qualification which matches together to form this niche business idea. But for many of us, we are multi talented and multi passionate. So you might like painting and you might also like writing, or you might like baking and you might also like photography. And your talent, your qualification, you might be a lawyer by qualification or an engineer by qualification. And your skill might be in taking creating these wonderful compositions whether it's when you arrange food on a plate or when you take photographs, or you might be just very good at expressing yourself through color, through words. So there are these permutation combinations. Just write them out on paper. Don't worry what will happen with that whole list. We'll get to that later. But just jot it down on paper. My next step would be choose a talent that you want to create your business around and skill up. Out of that whole list that you've written, which business do you want to create now? Like for me, I am a writer, a journalist, an author, an artist, and a coach. So for me, my primary passion, which I use all my micro businesses, is writing. I started with writing. I started off being a freelance journalist and content writer. I moved on to being an author, and I use this skill to promote, to write marketing material for my art business and for my two coaching businesses. So when I say write for my coaching businesses, I create content in the forms of blog posts and my YouTube videos and ebooks. For my green wellness business, I have this website called gorgeousgirlsgogreen.com. And I have posted a whole repository of wellness and green living articles in there. And I've also been working on an ebook, and I hope to come up with an e-course. And yes, I'm soon coming up with an online e-course for military wives who want to create micro businesses from home. So you see, you start off with one talent and you can actually use it and upcycle it and use it in so many different ways. So choose this one talent that you want to start your first micro business with. And if you feel that you need to brush up your skills, or you need a degree, or you need a certification to back that up, then get online and choose a certification program or an online class or even a bunch of books to help you brush up your skills in that field. My next tip would be create a brand name and social media handles. And if you're a writer, I would suggest that go ahead and start a blog. So you've identified the talent that you want to use in your micro business, and you have skilled up, and you are at the back of your mind or even actively thinking how you want to create that into your business. So now just take a step, slow down for a minute and think, if you could, what kind of brand name would you choose for a product or a service that you build with that particular talent? Just brainstorm, go all out, choose a name, get online and see that another profession doesn't use the same kind of name or same kind of brand. And then get onto Facebook and Instagram and create these business handles or business pages with your chosen brand name. If you're a writer and you want to get into freelance writing or copywriting or technical writing, I would suggest get a blog and blog about the topics that interest you, and blog about the topics that you want to pitch your clients and the industry that you want to write for. It helps to create a body of work and to have this one place where you can showcase your talents. And when I said that you need to create a business page on your social media account, that is also for the same purpose, to help you to create a space, a vessel through which you can showcase your talents and your work that you're going to be creating. My next step would be just that. Now, start sharing your work with your audience, with your community and your family and friends. So now that would be like if you're an artist, for example, and you have been painting at home, you have been taking online painting classes at home, and you have been creating this, diligently creating this body of work. Instead of just shoving it all in a portfolio and keeping it in the back of the cupboard, take good photographs of each of your artwork and share it with a caption on your Instagram business page and on your Facebook page. And if you have a blog, then on the page, on the blog too, share the story behind that painting. How did you paint it? Why did you paint it? If there is a memory attached to it, so share with your audience, because if you don't share, if you don't tell people what you're doing in a kind, joyful, gentle way, then how will people know what you're doing? If you just pop up one fine day and say, hey, I am an artist and I am selling this painting, I think it would need a little more pull than that to bring your customers to you. So just start creating a platform, creating a vessel. You know, you already created your social media pages and your blog. Now start filling it up with beautiful things that you're creating. I have taken the example of paintings, but for you, it could be baking, photography, a craft, jewelry, crochet, knitting, baby products, skincare products, whatever that may be. You get the idea, right? Now that you're sharing your product, also start as your photos and the products that you're making. Also start thinking, who are you actually thinking of selling your product to? Who is your ideal client? Take a piece of paper and just think, are you creating a product for young women, or are you creating a product for young single working professionals, or is this for uh, you know um, 40 plus women? Maybe your jewelry line or your saris or the dresses you're creating is for 40 plus or 50 plus or 60 plus women. Or are your products or your skincare products for babies and small children with gentle skin? So write down who your product is for. Do you have a vision or a picture of that person in your mind? So, for example, if it's for let's say your art is for young homemakers, between the age of 25 to 35, then what does your ideal client look like? How does she talk? What does kind of clothes does she wear? What kind of conversation does she like? What kind of foods does she like to eat? So just create this character profile of your ideal client. Now, when I say this, I will also say that sometimes what happens is that you might create a character profile and you're aiming at that category of people, when you're launching your product. But sometimes a huge surprise might happen, and you might also get clients from different walks of life, and that's totally okay. It happened with me. When I launched Jugnu Story Art, which is my handmade art brand, I was creating these quirky, joyful, illustrative paintings, watercolors, and acrylics. And I thought that my artwork was ideal for children's rooms. But surprisingly, when I launched it, yes, there were moms who bought my artwork for the children's rooms. But guess what? I also had people from different age groups coming to me to buy my artwork. There were young professionals, there were young Fauji's, and there are young homemakers, and there are grandmothers who want to buy for their grandchildren. So there are all, and there are also people, young families who want to buy or want to buy my artwork on my home decor products to put on their walls and in their homes. So I was just aiming for kids' rooms, but I actually was pleasantly surprised by people from different age groups and different walks of life coming to me to purchase my art and home decor products. So that might also happen. But just as a beginning exercise, just keep a vision of your client in mind. And if you get clients from different walks of life, and a client who's not really like the ideal client that you visualized, that's okay too. So be flexible, but also kind of have a small plan with you ready. Be generous and share free stuff. This is very important. While a micro business might be to earn money, or maybe your micro business is your passion project and you're doing it purely out of love, and you're not really bothered how much of profit you make. Either ways, when you are launching a micro business, a micro brand, be generous, be kind, and be joyful. Aim to offer products and services and free stuff, free tips that can actually impact the lives of the people who come across your posts, your YouTube channel, or your photographs, or your ebooks, or even the images or the paintings that you share. And when I say share, I say that, even when you launch your product, you be generous, host giveaways, host discount programs, you know, with the product that you're offering, offer something, offer a little gift that will bring some joy to your client. So start sharing, start creating products that you can share. It could just be as simple as when I was creating my art, I would take pictures of my artwork and I would share these little miniature stories woven around the characters in the paintings. And a lot of people used to enjoy reading those stories. It reminded them of little bedtime stories that they used to hear when they were kids. Then, whenever I've launched an artist merchandise, I have hosted a giveaway and given away some of my products for free. So I often send little gifts or like a little magnet that I've designed, a little coaster that I've designed to some of my repeat customers. So it's really up to you, or even something as simple as a handwritten note with a purchase can really perk people up. So just keep thinking how you're going to add joy to your products and how you can add joy to your micro business brand. My last point with this would be create stories around your product and add a personal touch. Let's say you are launching a baking business and you want to sell cakes and cupcakes. Every time you create a new flavor or try out a new recipe and you share it on your Instagram page or on your Facebook business page or even your blog, write down a little story how you came across that recipe or what inspired you to try out that particular flavor, and what was it like when you were making. Did you have an interesting incident that happened while you were baking, or even something as simple as a little story woven around that particular flavor? So just create stories, share your memories, draw people into the world of your micro business. With these tips, you're actually ready to launch. The next step would be that you have your product in place, you have your stories in place, you already have a social media handle or a vessel where you're sharing your work with your community. And now the next thing would be to just go all out and make that announcement that, hey, I'm open for business, or hey, this is a new product that I've come up with. Would you be interested? If you're interested, DM me or ping me privately, and I will let you know more about the product. So if it is a new painting that finally you're putting up for sale, just say, this is a painting and this is the story behind it, and this is for sale if you want something like this. And if you don't want something like this, if you want to commission me a painting like this, feel free to get in touch. In the same way, whether it's skincare products or it's a craft or it's even a digital product like an ebook or an e-course, build up, create, share, give generously, and don't hesitate to take the plunge. When you have worked on all these steps, the final thing remains is that you give yourself that nudge, the little push, and take that first step. You create a product that you want to sell, or you create a service that you want to sell and make money with. It could be maybe if you are into this as a passion project and you don't really want to make a lot of money, but you just have one little product or service that you want to offer, go right ahead and do it. And don't hesitate, because it's often the first step or this plunge that we take into saying that, hey, listen world, I'm an entrepreneur now. It's this plunge that often scares everybody, because there is this fear of failure, right? You feel, what if I put out this product and nobody buys it? Or what if I launch this micro business brand and it just goes flop? I mean, so what? If somebody doesn't buy that product, create another one and put it. Ask your audience what kind of products would they like to see you create. If you don't get that pitch accepted by an editor of a magazine, no problem. Just send out five more pitches to five more publications and just keep going till you make that sale or till you feel that you have launched yourself as a micro business brand. And if you need any help or if you need any tips on how to do it, or if you have any question, feel free to leave your question in the comments box below and get in touch with me. I'll be happy to share if I can help you in the form of tips, or I can share my own journey with you. I'll be happy to do so in the form of a blog post or I will create a YouTube video for you. And I have also created this ebook, which was an Amazon bestseller when it was released last February in 2019. And it's called The Work at Home Military Wife. It's available on Amazon. Do check it out, and you can purchase it for the price of probably a cup of good coffee and read the A to Z of creating a micro brand as a military wife on the move. I'm also coming up with more books for moms who want to work from home and for homemakers who want to create a passion project or a micro brand while taking care of their home and their kids. And hey, I've also got an online course coming up. Again, this one is tailored for military wives who want to work from home. So stay tuned and I will give you an update when it's ready for you to access. So till next time, and hey, oh, I just forgot. If you like this video, please share it with your friends who might find it beneficial. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel. I love to see how my community on YouTube is growing. So please, you're welcome into this community and let's grow together and let's go on this journey of building micro businesses, of creating a self-sustained life at home and homeschooling together. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.